Welcome back to Thinking Reading, and we are on Chapter 9 of The Outsiders. The most important thing to remember from the last time we read was that Two-Bit and Pony were driving back from the hospital, and they ran into Cherry Valance. Cherry confirmed that there's going to be no weapons at the Rumble that night, and then Cherry and Pony talked a little bit more about Bob and about Johnny and just kind of the situation they're in right now. Okay. It was almost 6:30 when I got home. The Rumble was set for 7, so I was late for supper, as usual. I always come in late. I forget what time it is. Derry had cooked dinner, baked chicken and potatoes and corn. 2 chickens, because all 3 of us eat like horses, especially Derry. But although I love baked chicken, I could hardly swallow any. I swallowed 5 aspirins, though, when Derry and Soda weren't looking. I do that all the time because I can't sleep very well at night. Derry thinks I take just 1, but I usually take 4. I figured 5 would keep me going through the Rumble and maybe get rid of my headache. Then I hurried to take a shower and change clothes. Me and Soda and Derry always get spruced up before a Rumble. I'm going to stop right there and make my response. So spruced up in this case means get dressed up. And so they're getting dressed up before they're going to fight. And this reminds me of other occasions in the past where people used to get dressed up for things that they don't anymore. When I was a little kid, people used to get really dressed up to go on airplanes. And they used to get dressed up to go out for dinner and to work. Which some people still dress up to go to work, but things have just gotten a lot more casual these days. And I can't imagine that many people get dressed up to go fight someone. Okay. Let's see. Then I hurried to take a shower and change clothes. Me and Soda and Derry always get spruced up before a Rumble. And besides, we wanted to show those Soshas we weren't trash, that we were just as good as they were. Soda, I called from the bathroom, when did you start shaving? When I was 15, he yelled back. When did Derry? When he was 13. Why, you figure on growing a beard before the Rumble? You're funny. We had to send you into the Reader's Digest. I hear they pay a lot for funny things. Soda laughed and went right on playing poker with Steve in the living room. Derry had a tight black t-shirt that showed every muscle on his chest and even the flat, hard muscles of his stomach. I'd hate to be the socials who takes a crack at him, I thought as I pulled on a clean t-shirt and a fresh pair of jeans. I wished my t-shirt was tighter. I have a pretty good build for my size, but I'd lost a lot of weight in Windrexville, and it just didn't fit right. It was a chilly night, and t-shirts aren't the warmest clothes in the world. But no one ever gets cold in a Rumble. And besides, jackets interfere with your swinging ability. Soda and Steve and I put on more hair oil than was necessary, but we wanted to show that we were greasers. Tonight, we can be proud of it. Greasers may not have much, but they have a rep. That and long hair. What kind of world is it where all I have to be proud of is a reputation for being a hood and greasy hair? I don't want to be a hood, but even if I don't steal things and mug people and get boozed up, I'm marked lousy. Why should I be proud of it? Why should I even pretend to be proud of it? Derry never went in for the long hair. He was short and clean all the time. I sat in the armchair in the living room, waiting for the rest of the outfit to show up. But of course, tonight was the only one coming would be Two-Bit. Johnny and Dallas wouldn't show. Soda and Steve were playing cards and arguing as usual. Soda was keeping up a steady stream of wisecracks and clowning, and Steve had turned up the radio so loud that it almost broke my eardrums. Of course, everybody listens to it loud like that, but it wasn't just the best thing for a headache. "You like fights, don't you, Soda?" I asked suddenly. "Yeah, sure," he shrugged. "I like fights." "How come?" "I don't know." He looked at me puzzled. "It's action. It's a contest, like a drag race or a dance or something." "Shoot," said Steve. "I want to beat those Socs' heads in. When I get in a fight, I want to stomp the other guys good. I like it, too." "How come you like fights, Derry?" I asked, looking up at him as he stood behind me, leaning in the kitchen doorway. He gave me one of those looks that hide what he's thinking, but Soda piped up. "He likes to show off his muscles." "I'm going to show 'em off to you, little buddy, if you get any mouthier." I digested what Soda had said. It was the truth. Derry liked anything that took strength, like weightlifting or playing football or roofing houses, even if he was proud of being smart too. Derry never said anything about it, but I knew he liked fights. I felt out of things. I'll fight anyone anytime, but I don't like to. "I don't know if you ought to be in this rumble, Pony," Derry said slowly. "Oh, no," I thought in mortal fear. "I've got to be in it." Right then, the most important thing in my life was helping us whip the Socs. Don't let him make me stay home now. I've got to be in it. "How come? I've always come through before, ain't I?" "Yeah," Derry said with a proud grin. "You fight real good for a kid your size. But you were in shape before. You've lost weight, and you don't look so great, kid. You're tensed up too much." "Shoot," said Soda, trying to get the ace out of the shoe without Steve seeing him. "We all get tensed up before a rumble. Let him fight tonight. Skin never hurt anyone. No weapons, no danger." "I'll be okay," I pleaded. "I'll get a hold of a little one, okay?" "Well, Johnny won't be there this time. Johnny and I sometimes ganged up on one big guy. But then Curly Shepherd won't be there either, or Dally, and we'll need every man we can get." "What happened to Shepherd?" I asked, remembering Tim Shepherd's kid brother. Curly, who was tough, cool, hard as nails. Tim in miniature, and I'd once played chicken by holding our cigarette ends against each other's fingers. We had stood there, clenching our teeth and grimacing, with sweat pouring down our faces and the smell of burning flesh making us sick, each refusing to holler, until Tim happened to stroll by. When he saw that we were really burning holes in each other, he cracked our heads together, swearing to kill us both if we ever pulled a stunt like that again. I still have the scar on my forefinger. Curly was an average downtown hood, tough and not real bright, but I liked him. He could take anything. "He's in the cooler," Steve said, kicking the ace out of Soda's shoe in the reformatory. Again, I thought, and said, "Let him fight, Derry. If it was blades or chains or something, it'd be different. No one ever gets really hurt in a skin rumble." "Well," Derry gave in, "I guess you can, but be careful, and if you get in a jam, holler, and I'll get you out." "I'll be okay," I said wearily. "How come you never worry about Soda Pop as much? I don't see you lecturing him." "Man," Derry grinned and put his arm across Soda's shoulder. "This is one kid brother I don't have to worry about." Soda punched him in the ribs affectionately. "This kiddo can use his head." Soda Pop looked down at me with mock superiority, but Derry went on. "You can see he uses it for one thing, to grow hair on." He ducked Soda's swing and took off for the door. Two-Bit stuck his head in the door just as Derry went flying off it, leaping as he went off the steps. Derry turned a somersault in mid-air, hit the ground, and bounced up before Soda could catch him. "Well up, Two-Bit said cheerfully, cocking an eyebrow. I see we are in prime condition for a rumble. Is everyone happy? Yeah, screamed Soda, as he too did a flying somersault off the steps. He flipped up to walk on his hands and then did a no-hands cartwheel across the yard to beat Derry's performance. The excitement was catching, screeching like an Indian. Steve went running across the lawn in flying leaps, stopping suddenly and flipping backwards. I just stopped there for a second. I made that sound because it was racist what they said, screeching like an Indian only screeches. Okay, we could do all acrobatics because Derry had taken the course at the Y and then spent a whole summer teaching us everything he'd learned on the grounds that he might come in handy in a fight. It did, but it also got Two-Bit and Soda jailed once. They were doing mid-air flips down a downtown sidewalk, walking on their hands and otherwise disturbing the public and the police. Leave it to those two to pull something like that. With a happy whoop, I did a no-hands cartwheel off the porch steps, hit the ground, and rolled to my feet. Two-Bit followed me in a similar manner. I'm a greaser, Soda Pop chanted. I'm a J.D. in a hood. I blacken the name of our fair city. I beat up people. I rob gas stations. I am a menace to society. Man, do I have fun. Greaser, 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 Steve sing-songed. O victim of environment, underprivileged, rotten, no-count hood. Juvenile delinquent, you're no good, Derry shouted. Get thee hence, white trash, Two-Bit said in a snobbish voice. I am a Soc. I am the privileged and the well-dressed. I throw beer blasts, drive fancy cars, break windows at fancy parties. And what do you do for fun? I inquired in a serious, odd voice. I jump greasers, Two-Bit screamed and did a cartwheel. We settled down as we walked to the lot. Two-Bit was the only one wearing a jacket. He had a couple of cans of beer stuffed in it. He always gets high before a rumble. Before anything else, too, come to think of it. I shook my head. I'd hate to see the day when I had to get my nerve from a can. I'd tried drinking once before. The stuff tasted awful. I got sick, had a headache, and when Derry found out, he grounded me for 2 weeks. But that was the last time I'd ever drank. I'd seen too much of what drinking did for you at Johnny's house. Okay, we're going to stop there, and you're going to make your response as soon as the video stops.